for you guys that did not know, Gundam actually dropped a huge dump of information on this like YouTube video. I'm gonna put the link in the description so you can see the entire thing, but I wanted to go over some of the cool points that I think you guys will want to know. Like I said, I'm gonna start covering this game as soon as it comes out. Actually, you know, clearly before, because here we are today. So I'm gonna set a like goal for 100 or more, and as per usual, if you like the video, and if you love the video, maybe subscribe, because we are going to be going all in on this game alongside of Fusion World. So let's hop into it. Gundam Aerial, what's good? Oh, this is looking so awesome. We got Gunpla. All right. Video games. They're just showing how popular Gundam is, the literal phenomenon that is this franchise, man. Unicorn is my goat. Unicorn and 00 for me. Let's go. Ooh. Guys, I am so excited. Ooh. Those have to be alt arts. If those aren't alt arts, that's just insane. Uh-huh. All right. And we got 2-on-2s, it looks like. That's groups. Oh, okay. Attaching a pilot to a Gundam. Resource-based game. And it looks like there was some sort of response in hand. Oh, looks like a trigger. And it goes in front of your life. Yeah, we got a lot to break down, guys. Oh, those arts. Oh my gosh. Link the universe? If that's not me. If that's not a call out to me. Yo. This is giving me tingles, yo. Play the new type. Ah, that looks good. So, a couple of things to go into now that we've seen that trailer, and oh my gosh, I am hyped. To start this game, you have anywhere between 2 and 4 players. You can have a 1v1, you can have a 2v2, or you can have a 1v1v1v1 battle royale. And then on top of that, each player will need a 50 card deck, that is the deck size, and when constructing your deck, you're going to choose between 2 colors in the game and only be able to use 2 colors. Very much so similar to Lorcana, but it's basically so you can have a little bit of mix and match, but you can't just go crazy on the splish and splashing. Then past that, you're gonna have a resource deck of 10. That is how many resources you have. It's very much so similar to One Piece in that sense, where you have 10 Dawn, you have 10 resources, and from there, you have to get your opponent's shields down to 0 and then attack one more time. When you take a damage and you have no more shields, you lose the game. So it's very much so similar to One Piece in that aspect too. There's a great blending of some of Bandai card games' best qualities and mechanics put into this game and then moving forward with that. So now that we have that understanding out of the way, let us get into the various parts of the game with examples you guys will be able to see. And like I said, this is going to be kind of like the cliff notes. I just want to make sure that people that don't necessarily have the time at this very moment to watch the 40-minute video can just watch this video, get the gist of it, and then go back and watch the 40-minute video with gameplay to understand even more of it. So let's jump in. So the first thing we're going to talk about is this board. I'm just going to go over the zones so you guys can understand. And we're going to be looking on the right side of the screen, mainly because this is the most unobstructed view. So from the top, you have the deck. You can see it's the thickest stack right there. That is your main deck, followed by the kind of discard, drop, trash pile, if you want to call it. You can see the Gundam unit currently in there. Then right beneath that, you have the resource area. This is going to be pretty much like your dawn area or energy area for you guys who are familiar with those games. And then at the bottom with the red on it, that is the resource deck, where these resources come from. Now, above that, you have the shield zone, and they're going to be, shield is going to be like your life. And then above that, each leader or each character, each person playing, they have their base. The base is a card right there that does have an effect. It will have a static effect, almost like a field card, but it also has its own toughness. It doesn't have any attack, but it has its own toughness. That's going to be something that we get into next. Every mobile suit on the board has a toughness and an attack. That might not be the exact name that they use, but the point is you have how much damage you're going to deal when you attack, and then you have how much life you have, and it will be a cumulative damage. That's why you see the dice on top of both the bases in the corners, as well as at least one of the units to show how much damage they have sustained. When something drops to 0, it will be destroyed. Now, the cool part is that underneath one of the Gundams on the right side, you can see that it's a little longer. That's because that's 2 cards, not 1. There is a pilot under there, and if you look closely, you can see that there is going to be a +2 and a +1, and that's what you add on to the stats when you have the pilot linked with the mobile suit. So let's actually go through the rest of this and pretty much just like talk more about the mechanics. And like I said, the link to the video will be in the description, so you can see all this for yourself and kind of get up to speed with what I'm talking about when I'm going over this review. So going into this, you have this picture right up here, and it's got the Armor Ray pilot, and it's got multiple suits. The Sinanju from Unicorn, the original 78 from the original series, Gundam Ariel, as well as the Red Zaku. Now, the cool thing about this is that this game does have summoning sickness, as it were to be called. Units cannot attack the turn they are played. Now, when you have a pilot, pilots cannot exist on the board alone, but pilots can be linked. That's the key word, linked to a unit. And you see how these units have their stats: 5-4 on Sinanju, 3-4 on 78, 3-3 on Ariel, 3-2 on the Zaku. But the pilot itself not only has its cost and its level, which is something we're going to get into soon, but it also has a +2 and a +1 for the stats, because the pilot will add to the stats of the suit. They also have an effect at the bottom. You can see that HP right there, things like that. Now, this is going to be the effect that you add on to the suit when this happens. However, the final part about this cool mechanic is that if you pair a mobile suit with a pilot that connects to it, you are going to be linked. That means sometimes there are more effects for the pilot, there are more effects for the suit in question, but most importantly, a linked unit can attack the turn that's played. So when you play a unit and then play a pilot that links with it, specifically, you are going to be able to attack on sight, and that is the true power that comes with using the pilots and the suits. That's going to be why you build your deck to be the way it is, with the correct suits tied into the correct pilots. So the next type of card that we're going to go over are the commands. And commands can be played in basically 3 different spaces of the games. As you guys saw on the board setup, there is a life pool. It's called shields, so your shield pool. And you can see here that the overflowing affection is a main card. Draw 1, then discard 1. So you can only use this in your main phase. That means it's pretty much just used as a stationary, like you're not using a response to anything. You have to play it during your turn in your main phase. Whereas intercept orders has all 3 different timings on it. It can be a burst, which means when it's the card that is revealed when you take damage in your shields, you can use this effect. It has the main, which we just discussed, and it also has action, and actions are the ones that you can use during your opponent's turn, during your turn. They're the much more flexible cards to be used. Essentially, the activate battles of this game for you Dragon Ball Super players out there. Now, with this being said, something that I want to touch on here, I think we can actually probably wait till the resources, because I want to make sure this video is as fluid as possible. But yes, these are the ways that these cards work with your basically your extras in this game, your events for One Piece. This is what a command is in Gundam. There are going to be cards as well that operate a little differently, like this one, this Ketra. He is both a command and a pilot, which means you can use it how you see fit. If you have a Sandrock or maybe even a Wing Zero, I need to actually look at this card real quick because I was thinking about the lore. But yeah, it says Pilot Operation Meteor. So pretty much any Operation Meteor unit, which very well could be Sandrock, Death Scythe, like just Wing Zero, these things, you can put him as a pilot under. However, at the same time, he can just be a command card. The action during this battle, your shield cards can't receive damage from enemy units that are level 4 or lower. So these are cool and very, very flexible ways to use your cards to the best of your ability. Now we're over here at base cards. Base cards are very unique because they can be deployed by their normal cost, or they can be used as bursts when they are triggered from your shield area. However, when it comes to this, they all have some sort of effect. On deploy, add one of your shields to your hand. That way they don't like just sit there and replace the immediate card. Like, the thing is, your shields are pretty much like they have 1 HP. Think about that. It's like a damage. You get damage, they get damage. But these bases have multiple HP. You can see right here, they have, like, this one has 5. And because of that, when a shield comes down, it deploys to take away a shield. That's the deploy effect, simply so it doesn't just replace and then give you like some overwhelming advantage. You're replacing a shield with this, and then you have to pick up a shield in response. So, with that being said, you always have cool effects on your bases. They're going to be your mainstays for, you know, just like a static effect that you can access every turn until your base is destroyed. And I think this adds a really, really cool layer onto gameplay. Next up are your resource cards. For you guys that play One Piece, this is going to look really familiar for you because it's going to be very similar to Dawn and how you acquire it. Once at the beginning of your turn, you're just going to be able to flip over a resource card. Now, the thing about the resource cards is that there is a special kind of new caveat for this game. When you look at a card, it has both a level and a cost. The cost is how many resources you have to tap to play it, but the level is how many total resources you have to have access to in order to be able to cast this card, period. So that's pretty simple. If you have the card that was on screen right now, that is on screen, it's a level 4, so you have to have at least 4 resources, but it costs 2 of your resources. This is generally to make sure that things don't come out too fast, but at the same time, the combos, I'm willing to bet that the Amuro pilot that goes with this is a 2 cost, allowing you to play both of them for 4, but you have to have a total of 4 just to cast this Gundam in the first place. Right here, it looks like the game can be played in both a team battle as well as a battle royale, as well as 1v1. So multiple game modes right off the bat to make sure that this game is dynamic and very, very fun to play, whether it's just you versus an opponent or friends versus friends. So now we've got the different phases here. You've got the first to play, second to play, you can see how the setup is, but you've got the start phase where your turn starts, the draw phase where you draw your card, the resource phase where you flip over a card from your resource deck into your resources, followed by the main phase where all the normal things happen. You get to play your units, you get to play your pilots, you get to play your commands, and then you can go in and out of separate battles like most Bandai games tend to do, not having a singular battle phase outside of Battle Spirit Saga. Now the end phase, of course, you end your turn, any card effect that has something to do with the end phase will activate here, and that's pretty straightforward. Like I said, you can always go through the the full video to see them play this out in real time. I just kind of want to give you guys the cliff notes because it is a 40-minute video and I know not everybody has the time to go through that. So you can see right here that they already said that they intend to do original artwork for like all of these cards, these mobile suits. You can see the RX-78 looking amazing, Wing Gundam looking dynamic as it avoids all the gunfire they would normally avoid in every episode of Wing Zero for some reason. Sinanju just being the absolute beast unit it is, and even like the Ali Strike looking absolutely clean drawing its beam saber. These are just really, 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 really cool arts. And then when you move over to the pilot arts, everything's also done in like the style that it was like most noted for. You got Amuro Ray and that kind of retro vibe, Hito Yui and the Universal Century kind of like startup where, you know, things look fairly modern for that time. I'm so sorry, Witch and Mercury is not something I've watched yet. I'm still getting to it, so forgive me for not knowing her name, but I do like the artwork. And you've got Lacus from Gundam Seed over here, looking very, very lacus. If you know, you know. But yeah, these arts look amazing, and I can't wait to not only see them in person, but their alt arts as well. Like, so let me know what you guys are thinking about this. I tried to summarize it the best I can. Like I said, you can see a full game on the actual site, and if you guys would like me to, I can actually just dub over that game and show you guys kind of the flow while they're going through it. But yeah, I just want to make sure, like I said, that you guys have the cliff notes for those that can't sit through the 40-minute video, don't have the time, don't want to do it, whatever is going on. But I would highly suggest you go down in the description, check out that video for yourself, come back, and then just use this video for a little touch-ups if you need more clarification. With that being said, let me know in the comments how excited you guys are for this game. I cannot wait myself, and I will be on this for sure. Thank you, and I will see you in the next video.